All right, everybody, we're coming back from the break. It's called the Business to Business Network Show. My name is Rex Perry. I'm the host and creator of the show. Every week, we do an hour-long show, different guests, different segments, talking about real estate, business, politics, economics. And our guests are Lisa. Give us your last name again. Introduce yourself.
LisaWunder, WUNDER, eXp Realty.
And Becky?
Becky Wunder with VIP Mortgage.
WUNDER. Mother-in-law, daughter-in-law setup, which is amazing. Good job for doing that. And
Tessi.Willis with Magnus Title Agency.
Excellent. Now, you have a listing coming up. We definitely want to talk about that.
It just recently hit the market, and it is it's just an incredible property. It's a unique scenario, County Island living in Gilbert. So it's close to all the great stuff in downtown Gilbert. Wonderful community that everyone loves and is just really boomed with just people wanting to be in Gilbert. So this property is nearly 2 acres, and the property has a farm. We're calling it Magnolia Farms. It's got all the trees. It's got all the goodness, gardens, chickens, swim-up pool bar, the rooftop deck, and 4,100 square feet circular driveway. The whole property is gated. No neighbors behind. There's a canal on the side. So just, it's just a different way of living. The freedom of being in a county island and not having restrictions of the HOA with the convenience of being in one of the very most popular neighborhoods in the valley at the moment.
What's the intersection area?
So that one is Higley and Germain.
Higley and Germain. Wow. You know what? I actually live in that area.
Is that right?
I am at Williamsville. I'm at Higley and Pecos.
Okay.
So I know that area really well. That's a really beautiful area.
It really is.
And these county islands are very rare, by the way.
They are.
Anybody listening need to understand, and you have a lot of freedom.
You do.
You can do pretty much anything you want on your property, and it's just really farm living, fun living. But then you jump on a freeway because the 202 is right there.
Oh, yeah. It's very conveniently located. And, we needed the 202 in Gilbert, years ago because there was nothing there.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to leave. There's everything,
Yeah.
and it just keeps growing with all the top restaurants and shopping. And, it's the Scottsdale of
Gilbert.
East Valley.
I was born and raised in Prescott. I lived in Mesa for a long time, and we used to make fun of Gilbert.
Yeah.
Now look at you. You're in.
I know. Everybody makes fun of Mesa,
Yeah.
because Gilbert is so nice. So price range on that.
This is listed at $2,750,000.
And jumbo financing, what's available in jumbo?
Jumbo's looking great right now. Most jumbo programs, the minimum down is going to be about 10%. And I would say for this property, if somebody is interested in it, jumbo's almost certainly going to be the way to go. And the rates for those are pretty comparable to normal conforming rates.
Which
as
is
long as
amazing.
you apply and, your picture looks good. So
Yeah.
they have some credit requirements that are a little more strict than your average conforming loan. But overall, the jumbo programs are fantastic right now because investors think of those as less risky in this market because those types of people have quite a bit of
Deep pockets.
yeah.
And that's the point, is that they need to get pre-qualified
Right.
and find out what's available, how much they got to come in with. And I'm telling you what, this is hen's teeth. I mean, having a big piece of property like this in a county island in Gilbert, you're not going to get a lot of listings like this, folks. You're really going to have a hard time looking. Well, when it comes to escrow on that, obviously you pull the paperwork together, kind of educate the audience just a little bit about how the paperwork comes together.
Yes, I'll be careful how I do that.
Yes.
As I'll stay in my lane since I'm business development. But from the escrow side and our specialist escrow officers and title team, they're the ones, once Lisa has contract together, negotiated everything, once that purchase contract is received by Magnus, then the escrow officer is able to collect earnest money, work on, this particular case doesn't have HOA, but if there's any HOA, title searches, things like that, so that we make sure that we're transferring clear and clean title. Collecting all documents, communicating with all parties involved. They're a neutral third party, and they just kind of help bring it all together to the closing table, recording, all that good stuff.
And let me put my multiple hats on. I'm sorry, I've been around a long time, but I used to be a title officer too. Besides doing mortgage.
Oh, okay.
What about an agent? What the heck?
Well,
I'm a
I can
licensed.
still hire you, Rex. Well, it's time for you to begin.
Let me just tell you though, as a title as a title officer, we would do title searches not just on the seller or the property, but also the buyer coming in, because sometimes there's judgments that the buyer has. And a lot of people don't, sometimes they didn't even know they had the judgment.
Interesting.
Yeah, we've had a situation, now this is a long time ago, things are much more digitized now, but this is where we would do what is known as a general index search, and there was a very small claims court where the guy never showed up. He didn't get served, he didn't get anything, but he had a small judgment, and being he was the buyer, and we had to go get that taken care of before we could insure the title.
That happens to us often.
Oh, you
as
get this
well.
too, as a
We
lender.
get it too. So when we pull a credit report, you pull the credit, but there's also a liens and judgments report. And sometimes you'll pull a credit at the beginning when you're pre-qualifying and it's not there because it's
Yes.
in process. And then you have to do a credit refresh, and then it's processed.
Yes.
And now you have to fix it. But
That's
we're
exactly
real good
what
at
happened to us.
fixing it.
Yeah, we were getting right down to closing, and he said, "What is?" Nobody knew what it was, but
Yeah.
we took care of it. So when working with buyers in particular, when you look for an opportunity, you make sure that they get pre-qualified before you start. Isn't that how you usually work?
It does depend on the relationship. And, if it's a very cold lead from, Zillow or Realtor.com, people want to trust you. And so when you get face to face, I'm not going to say to somebody that you can't see this house until you get pre-qualified.
Right.
There are people who do that, but I'm more of a human, I guess that would be the, and they're going to want to work with me, and I want to choose if I'm going to work with them too, right? Are they ready, willing, and able? But people really do need that advice, and they need it right away. And a lot of times, people think I want to buy a $300,000 house or a $400,000. They have a number in mind. They might not know that they qualify for 500.
Yeah.
And they can get that house of their dreams, and the payment's going to be where they need it to be. So I really like to ask them, what payment are you comfortable with?
And this, we got a couple of minutes left, but this is an important story to tell also. I want to just back up from our other segment. You had that friend that was living 2 hours, and we know who these people are. They're living in Florence and commuting to downtown Phoenix. And by the way, I lived in LA for 8 years. I was a 1 hour commute every morning, and it was bumper to bumper traffic, and that gets exhausting. And it ends up that we're working, and you've probably worked with them too. There's a lot of these fix and flip, interior, closer to the center of the city, where they're taking these old homes and making them really nice. And all of a sudden, the people living in Florence say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's go look downtown." So that's what you want to do. You want to see and teach people that they've got options. How can people reach you? Give us your phone number again.
602-538-4308. 602-538-4308.
And LisaWunder with a U.
Wonder with a U. It's all about you, babe.
You got it. And Becky.
Yes, you can reach me at 480-578-0196. Again, that's 480-578-0196, and email me at bwunder with a U at vipmtginc.com.
Fantastic. And Tessi.
480-703-4458. 480-703-4458.
Excellent. You guys, this has been fantastic. We want to get the word out. We want to get people off the fence and in the water and get pre-qualified. It may not be today, but start working on it. So thank you all so much. We got to do a break. It's the news at the bottom of the hour. My name is Rex Perry, host and creator of the show. Stay tuned after the news. We'll be back.